Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Jonny Skywatcher Live. If you don't know who I am, this is my YouTube channel in this little box on the internet, and this is the show where I like to talk about movies, gaming, TV, whatever I feel like, but mostly movies and TV, I should say. Hopefully, everything is working okay. I'm the only person running this show, so if anything goes wrong, there's no one else to catch me. Anyway, I'm just gonna check to make sure that my mic is actually on, because I've had that happen before where, I go through a whole live stream, and because I don't have enough followers right now, enough subscribers, whatever, it's totally plausible that nobody's on to tell me that my mic is muted, which has happened before, which sucks. So, welcome to the stream. If you're watching this in the future, I don't think I have anybody except for myself on the stream right now. So I guess I'll get right to it then. And with the first topic being the new trailer for WandaVision. So yesterday, Marvel Studios came out with a new trailer. I think it looks really good, and I'm just gonna play in the background while I talk. So yes, I really like the look of this trailer, and I'm really excited for it. It looks like they're going to do something, completely different with this, and it looks like they're doing, this beginning, of course, has this a big Bewitched vibe, which is really interesting. And later in the trailer, you see what looks like they're going through the sort of like the generations of television, of like TV sitcoms. So it looks really interesting. And then, of course, you have the whole sort of question of how is this happening. The teaser doesn't show too much, which is good because I don't want to know. But it does fill me with questions about, like, how is this happening? How is Vision alive? Did Wanda somehow bring Vision back to life, or is this an illusion of some kind? It seems like, maybe she's created this sort of illusion in this town, or maybe that the entire town is illusionary. That's what one part I found really interesting. Like this character, who I think is supposed to be the character Monica Rambeau, who was the second Ms. or the original Ms. Marvel or something like that in the comics, and she was the black girl in Captain Marvel, who is now grown up. I think I heard that from casting. Anyway, it looks like she's like getting thrown out of wherever they are, and it's like some sort of force field. So probably what I'm thinking is that Wanda has set up this sort of fake reality in this town, if the town is real. I'm kind of leaning towards thinking the town is real and they're all under her spell, just from that part where that woman kind of gets like shocked out of it. I think my guess is that Wanda I think not even intentionally, put some kind of spell around this town so that she and Vision can live this idyllic suburban life, which isn't real. And I think my guess is that through the series she'll discover that she's actually the one responsible for it, whereas my guess is that at the beginning of the series she won't even realize that she's the one who created it. And it looks like the military or someone's involved with knowing about it. And yeah, it's a nice little tease. Doesn't show too much, just gives you a nice taste. The interesting part is they don't give us a date, but they do say, I think, where does it say? It does say coming soon. So, and the thing that's been pretty much confirmed by this is that WandaVision is actually going to come before Falcon and Winter Soldier. So, the plan before in the before times was for Falcon and Winter Soldier to come out either this fall, or even they were going to push it into August, and then WandaVision to come later. But it seems like they actually finished filming WandaVision, but they still had some filming that they hadn't finished with Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't know if it was just like reshoots or something like that, but they've only just started, finishing that now. So it looks like they're going to move up WandaVision. And this is an article, but also you can see if you go to the pages that Disney Plus has up right now for the Falcon and Winter Soldier, you can see it's coming soon to Disney Plus 2021. And then if you go to WandaVision's page, coming soon, it says 2020. So I think this is going to start airing before the end of the year. And one of the weird things, I think, is if you look at this, it does seem to have an element of Halloween. She's dressed as a witch, and then you have Vision dressed. Where's that part? You have Vision dressed up and Halloween. It seems like this, at least part of this series, takes place on Halloween. So I was thinking it's kind of weird that Mandalorian starts at the beginning of the end of October, because it kind of seems like this WandaVision would be perfect to put at around October. I know that it's not going to be just one dump of episodes like Netflix does it. They're going to space it out, but it does seem like there's at least an episode that plays around Halloween, or either that or maybe the whole series takes place around Halloween. It could be. And then I definitely think this outfit that we saw before of this outfit, I think is also goes with the outfit Vision is wearing as a Halloween costume. So yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with that. And I don't think this. We haven't been given a date, which is interesting. So to me, that tells me it's not going to start before The Mandalorian. My best guess would be that it's going to. That didn't work. My best guess is that it's going to air after The Mandalorian finishes, and The Mandalorian's 8 episodes, so it's going to be airing, through November. Because it's going to start at the end of October and then go at least through November to December. So the question is, will this start after The Mandalorian or in the middle of Mandalorian? Maybe. Because November would seem a better idea to me. Or maybe it will just start at near the end of December, the week after Mandalorian finishes. When DC Universe was still a thing and doing their original programming, I think that's how they did it. They started out with Titans, and then right after Titans ended, a week or two after that is when they brought in Young Justice season 3. And then I think after Young Justice, they had another show, and because they wanted to space it out so that you don't just get your 1 month and watch everything and then and then cancel your service. They want you to stay for that, and then, oh, what's this next thing coming up, and then watch that, and then so you keep being subscribed. Anyway, what do you think about WandaVision? Let me know in the comments below. If you're watching in the future, or if you're watching right now, just sound off in the chat. If you're looking forward to it a lot, just, I don't know, say something in the chat. Say 1. Just type the letter 1 for all I care about. Anyway, let's move on. So the next thing I saw right before I went on, which is kind of a bummer, is I'm still getting used to these controls on OBS because I've been experimenting with with hotkeys, so I don't have to like individually click things. See how fast I did that? There. Okay, so Dark Crystal, I should say, Dark Crystal Age of Resistance has been canceled by Netflix. This is kind of disappointing. I actually really like this series. I hadn't watched the movie before, or I think I watched it as a kid, but I had no memory of it really. So I quite enjoyed this show, and it's kind of a bummer that it's getting canceled. It says, over a year after the series first debuted on the streaming service, I noticed, like, yeah, it has been a long time since this series was on. Since it came to Netflix, the first season. And I guess now the only season. The Jim Henson Company CEO and executive producer Lisa Henson and Netflix shared with IO9 that there will not be another season of Age of Resistance, the groundbreaking series based on Jim Henson's fantasy film. We can confirm that there will not be an additional season of the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. We know fans are eager to learn how this chapter of the Dark Crystal saga concludes, and will look for ways to tell that story in the future. Our company has a legacy of creating rich and complex worlds that require technical innovation, artistic excellence, and masterful storytelling. To kind of go on. Most recently receiving an Emmy for Outstanding Children's Program. So the series had received a lot of critical acclaim, and I think people generally liked it, but this is Netflix, so, you know, we don't have like a rating system to judge it by and be able to say, well, it didn't do so well in the ratings. Well, like, Netflix never tells us that information. They only like give out tiny bits that they think is acceptable, and then other than that, they're like, you know what, you don't need to know. Don't look behind the curtain. There's nothing here to see. And yeah, this is just kind of a bummer. I know the first season ended with a cliffhanger, so that makes it even more disappointing. And then it's just another show that Netflix just cancels. You know, for a while Netflix had the issue of canceling shows after like their third season, and I think that's still an issue. But now Netflix is getting even more to just canceling shows after their first season if they don't do well enough or something like that. And I think it's a sign of Netflix is maybe overreaching. You know, Netflix has been spending a lot of money, and the fact is he's not making more money. You know, Netflix can only expand so much, and their revenue doesn't go up from that. You know, it only goes up bit by bit. They don't really have another revenue source other than subscriptions. And the thing with subscriptions is people can just subscribe for a month and then cancel. So if you have somebody who's, I don't know, you don't even need to be that dedicated to Netflix, but say you know the shows you want to watch, you can subscribe for a month, catch up on all the shows you want to, and then cancel, and then wait a year, and then, you know, do it. Because unless Netflix has shows that people have to watch now, right now, then there you have those people canceling. And the thing is, I think Netflix has been getting by on people who keep their subscriptions, because why not? You know, I don't have a Netflix subscription. I'm still using my parents' Netflix subscription, and they, you know, as long as somebody's still using it, you know, the thought is, why not just keep it? And then of course you probably still have people who just don't pay attention to every item on their bill and their monthly bills, and, you know, something like Netflix can just get away with it. But I think that's an issue. And the thing like, compared to network TV, I think you have, or even cable TV, is when a show does better in the ratings, that means they can sell those advertisements for more money, right? They can tell the advertisers, well, if you want to be on this show gets watched by a lot of people, so you need to pay more money for those ads. But the thing is, when a show does really well on Netflix doesn't get more money. comparably, also, if a show on Netflix does really poorly, Netflix doesn't lose more money. Really, they don't have people pulling out. So I don't quite understand how Netflix decides what to renew and what not to renew. I mean, ultimately, I think they're looking at it at the they're looking at it thinking, what shows are getting people to sign up for Netflix, and what shows are getting people to keep their Netflix. And there's probably some weird algorithm for that. And I think that's what leads to a lot of these decisions by Netflix that don't always seem the best, honestly. They'll cancel things, I think probably my best guess is that they're canceling things based on what the algorithm is telling them about how people are signing up to the service and what they're watching right away. And then what people are renewing their service and then watching right away. Because they're going to look at those things and say, those are the shows we want. Those are the good shows. Those are the shows that people are really paying for. And then the other shows that, oh, maybe they watch, 5 weeks after they've had got the subscription. That's not really a sign that they signed up for Netflix to get that. And it's not really a sign that they will quit Netflix if they cancel it. Anyway, that's my sort of Netflix rant. I think, I don't know, it's kind of disappointing, but just add it on to the other shows Netflix has canceled. Remember back when Netflix was the savior of TV and they would pick up those shows that got canceled by those mean networks? Well, now Netflix is the mean network, and now they cancel shows that could use some more love. So I guess I'll move on to the next thing. And this is just I just wanted to just talk about this very briefly because I thought it's funny. And let's talk about Quibi. Do you remember Quibi? Neither do I. Nobody remembers Quibi. Quick Bite. They thought they were going to revolutionize streaming, and they didn't. So Quibi is exploring strategic options, including sale. I guess that means Quibi is not doing that well, guys. I think there's a possibility that Quibi is not the huge mega hit that they were hoping for if they are exploring options. The nearly 6-month-old short-form video service has struggled to attract users. I wonder why. Seriously, who thought Quibi was a good idea? Who was like, you know what people really want? People want a service like YouTube where they watch small bits of content, but they want to pay for it. No, they don't. No. I think if people are going for those like 5-minute bits of content, they're just gonna watch YouTube. They're not gonna watch Quibi. I think it was a dumb idea to begin with. And the fact that it's sort of it's trying to be like Netflix, but YouTube at the same time. So like in those small chunks, like those clips you watch, but then also like telling a bigger story, I guess. I don't know. It's like webisodes. But here's the thing. Small bits of content like that have existed for other shows. I mean, there's been like main shows that have had content like that as like extra, like webisodes has been a thing for like, especially a lot of sci-fi series and things like that have had like webisodes or small extra things that you can watch on like the main site or whatever. But here's the thing, you didn't have to pay for it. And that's why this doesn't work, because why would I want to pay for it? I've seen advertisements for some interesting shows, but here's the thing, I'm not going to pay for it. I don't care enough. I'd watch it on YouTube, but I'm not going to pay for it. Oops. So let's just continue with this. Short form video. Okay. Exploring strategic options, including a sale less than 6 months after its launch. So it's only been 6 months. Seems like it's been a lot longer, but that's 2020 for you. The mobile-first service, founded by Jeffrey Katzenberg and Meg Whitman, is working with advisors to weigh several options, including raising more money and going public through a merger with a special purpose acquisition company, according to a report in the Wall Street Journal. Ugh, that sounds like, I don't know why. What kind of special, what does that even mean? Special purpose acquisition company? I don't know. A Quibi spokeswoman declined to comment. Quibi has successfully launched. Of course they declined to comment. They're not gonna say, yeah, we're desperate. We're desperate and we're looking into options because we are sinking. Quibi has successfully launched a new business and pioneered a new form of storytelling in a state-of-the-art platform. BS. Quibi launched April 1st. Okay, and then just goes on. And then they poured a lot of money into this, I know, which is kind of crazy. Quibi launched at the beginning of the... Okay, good. Blah, blah, blah. So this isn't a confirmed for sure thing. I think it's probably, it sounds pretty likely to be true. I believe it. I'm totally buying into it. So if you're watching in the future, let me know what you think about Quibi. Are you ready to invest into Quibi when they go public? Great idea. Don't do it. Don't. I wouldn't. Anyway, before I get to the last topic of the day, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to support the channel. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Jonny Skywatcher. Also, later today, I will be on Twitch playing Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Same username, Jonny Skywatcher, no space. I think it doesn't matter if you search it, you should be able to find me. Also, on my YouTube channel page, there is a link to it, so you can click on that. And I will be streaming at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let's move on just to the last thing. I just want to take a look at... Let's take a look at the box office. Now, because of the way things are now compared to before, we don't have the exact information we used to have. I say like I've been doing this in the past. No, I haven't. Anyway, this is the latest weekend information. Tenet is apparently #1. Actually, I think if you click on #1, do they even show? Okay, they do say #1. So Tenet was #1 with 4.7 million, which isn't great for Tenet because it's a kind of a sign that they aren't going to make a lot of money in the US, even if it keeps playing for a long time, unless it stops dropping, which is possible. Like if it stays between 4.7 million and say 1 million for, I don't know, several weeks maybe. But here's the thing, when we look at Tenet, they're not telling us domestic daily, and that's what is actually more interesting for like kind of determining how much of a run it could have, is seeing how it's dropping on the weekdays. Because for it to make, it's not going to make a lot of money at this point, but oh yes, and let me take that out. For it to make enough money or a reasonable amount of money, it needs to be making around like the same amount of money it's making on the weekends during the weekdays. You know, it needs to not be dropping under 1 million until for a while. But my guess it is probably already. If 4.7 million was the weekend. Anyway, #2 was The New Mutants at apparently 1.8 million. And I think, wow, is that reflective of how they've been doing in the past? So yes, New Mutants actually didn't drop that much. It's gone from 3.7 million to 2 million to 1.8 million. So that's another sign maybe for Tenet that they might not drop that much in the next few weeks. They're only a week over Tenet. So Tenet is doing better than the New Mutants, but still not that well. The Infidel came out to apparently number 3. Unhinged is still in the top 5. There's the Broken Heart Galleries. The other thing I wanted to look at that was interesting is just, let's look at China's box office. So like I predicted, Mulan did not do so well. It made under 10 million, which was a huge drop for it. I think it says it's 72.5%. That is not good. And Tenet not doing that much better. It is in its 3rd weekend, so they've made more money in China than Mulan, like almost twice as much, 60 million compared to 36 million. But still not great. It's not a huge hit. I would say it's not a huge hit in China either. It did okay for a movie that is probably very... I don't know. I haven't seen Tenet, so I can't say for sure. But I feel like just looking at Tenet, the special effects may do well with foreign audiences, but it seems like there's probably a lot of talking. It may not be able to quite understand the film. Even if it's in English, I've heard some people haven't really understood the film. And then also, interestingly, they show Onward. I feel like this isn't the full Chinese box office, though, because the other movie they don't show is... They don't show anything for the 800, which I think is... Is it still in theaters? I don't know. It just doesn't show any information. Well, let me go back. What did it say in rank? Because... yeah, it only shows these 3 movies. But that's interesting that they have Onward here, which... oh yeah, I guess is still in the Chinese box office. Not doing that well, but adding a little bit of money, I guess. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for me today. If you like this content, I don't know, do the thing down there, whatever. Anyway, I'm Jonny Skywatcher, and this has been Jonny Skywatcher Live. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched all the way to the end, thank you. That's what I need. I need more of that. I need people to watch. I need people to subscribe. I need someone to pay attention to me. Anyway, I'll try not to let the lack of subscribers or views get me down, but it does a little bit. I'll keep making this show though, as long as I'm not working, and it gives me something to do, so I'll keep plugging along. The biggest thing is I don't know how to get this show to people. Like, I don't know how to get how do I communicate to the outside world to get people to watch this? Because here's the thing about YouTube. A lot of people rely on YouTube to do their advertising, because when you say, why aren't people watching my channel, or why aren't more people watching my videos, or you say like this video was very successful and this wasn't, and people talk about the algorithm. Well, that's because they're allowing YouTube to be their advertiser, their sole advertisers. Because when your videos succeed solely on YouTube recommending it to people, that's because, well, YouTube is your only advertiser. And that's the problem for me, is I don't have another source of a way to get people to watch this. And I don't... If you have an answer to that big question, please comment. Please contact me on... message me on Twitter, Skywatcher, because I want to know. Because right now, my channel can't really grow that much because YouTube is not recommended me, I don't think. And that is the only way I think most people are able to even find my channel is through YouTube. So if YouTube doesn't recommend me, I don't know what I can do. And I mean, I'm not that surprised YouTube isn't recommending like this video, these kinds of videos, because these are longer form content than like 10-minute videos where somebody just watches something and reacts to it. I don't know. Anyway, I'll keep plugging along, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you. I keep messing this up because I start to say it and then I'm like, oh shoot, I need to click on the thing so I can change. There we go. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.